Hey everybody, Marcos Villegas here at the Wild Card in Hollywood, California, being joined with Freddie Roach. And Freddie, once again with Manny Pacquiao, another trip to the squared circle next weekend, taking on Adrien Broner in this fight on pay-per-view. Manny's 40 now. He's a lot older, but from the clips I've seen of him, he looks in fantastic shape. How surprised are you that he's able to maintain the shape that he's been for these fights?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, the thing is, I remember when I retired at 27 years old. I was all washed up. The thing is, Manny Pacquiao has 70 pro fights and still going really, really strong. I mean, he's as good as I've ever seen him. His work ethic is unbelievable.
When you look at Adrien Broner and you look at the style matchup in this fight, it's just a really difficult fight given the boxing ability of Broner and his ability to counterpunch, or are you seeing this as a fight in which you feel Manny can be dominant and will be dominant in?
No, style-wise, it's a very difficult fight because Manny enjoys fights much more when the opponents come to him, and he eats them up as they try to come. In this fight, Broner is more of a counterpuncher, and it's something we're going to have to be attacked. Manny is better when people are coming to him than when he has to attack somebody. But it's not something we haven't faced before, obviously. We have faced before, and going forward is very good. And Manny's working, like, going forward with me there in the angles and so forth. He's got that down. He has the game plan down. We know how to beat this guy.
You would think Broner would approach this fight as wanting to land a big counterpunch. I know the big knock on Broner has been that he just doesn't throw enough punches in fights. He's done interviews in which he says that he's not too worried about throwing punches. He's worried about throwing the right punches, and he feels that he will time and knock out Manny with a big counterpunch.
I don't see that happening. I mean, the thing is, being a counterpuncher it's usually very difficult, and most counterpunchers are good punchers because they are losing the fight. They're losing round by round by round by being the one that goes away, being the counterpuncher, and not making the fight happen. And like any close round, judges give it to the aggressor who's making the fight happen. So counterpunchers are really in a tough spot, and if they don't have that real true knockout power and to get someone fatigued and get them to a point where they can knock them out at the end, it usually goes the other way. So it's a very difficult style to win with also, but the thing is, it's difficult for my fighter to compete with that a little bit. But Manny's done enough in his lifetime, and he knows how to handle it. He knows exactly what to do, and you notice the footwork and the angles and so forth, where he's never in line for the right hand to land. He's always on the outside, and I didn't even have to tell him today. He just did automatically, and his foot was on the outside. Tremendously, I'm really happy where he's at right now. Broner, you're in trouble.
Real trouble? You think like stoppage type trouble?
Oh yeah, the thing is, Manny, for the first time ever in his life, he wants a knockout, and Manny will get what he wants.
He's told you, Freddie, I want to knock this guy out. I want to hurt him.
He's made it publicly. The thing is, I'm not the only one he's told, and just that, it goes against what Manny is usually about. But maybe I think again, last fight he liked the feeling of the way he knocked the guy out, and we had 6 years where we didn't have a knockout, and he hadn't had that feeling before in a long time, But he did in his last fight. He won by knockout, and it's very impressive. And I'm sure, liked the feeling of knocking guys out again, and. It's really, it's a fun thing. Really, it's an adrenaline rush, and it's something that's maybe uncontrollable. And he was away from that for a little while, but now has come back, and I think he has his killer instinct back in him, and I believe that he will knock Broner out.
When do you think Manny will start taking over the fight, in your personal opinion?
Right away.
Right away, you think so?
We're gonna, because our opponent will not come forward and take the ignition to start the fight. He'll be on the back foot trying to counterpunch. What if we just plow right through that back foot and just put him on the ropes right away? And we could end this early actually, but I do think we will break him down somewhat, but it'll go a little bit later. But I wouldn't be surprised if it goes early though, because Manny, he wants this really badly.
You mentioned that he looks great. He looks in phenomenal shape, the best you've seen him in a very long time. But he is 40. He's human. You know, when's the point where you guys don't want to see him fight anymore because of the age?
Yeah. I mean, we have an agreement. I mean, I told him, first time your work ethic starts to slow down, I'll tell you, and you will retire.
But he's a gym rat, though. He's always gonna have a high work rate.
His work rate is not, but it's not only just the work rate though. Is what you have to watch out for. It's the legs and the maneuver. I mean, I'm 27. I've been fighting a lot of fights in my life and so forth. But I'm 27. I'm not that old. My legs are shot. They won't be steady under me anymore, you know. And so, what do? I mean, you can't fix that. You gotta call it a day. I mean, in Manny Pacquiao, that hasn't happened. It's not even close. I mean, his footwork is like 10 times as great as mine.
But you don't want him to fight until like 44, 45. I don't think anybody wants to see that yet.
Maybe till he's president. First president to become the world champion.
Well, I asked him that just right now, and he gave me a smile, and he said, maybe.
Maybe. I would like that. But the thing is, I like get Broner out of the way, get the Mayweather fight.
Call it a day after
I
that.
honestly can retire. Right there. I can retire. Yeah, because I'd be happy with my life.
Let me ask you this, and I've been thinking about this for a long time as well. Do you think Manny's addicted to this, addicted to the attention, to the fighting, and that's a reason why he doesn't want to let it go? I know that's a problem for other fighters, that it's a very difficult thing to let go of. Do you think that might be the case in his instance?
He is addicted to it, but the thing is, it's still the thing that he does best. And you got to take that into consideration. I mean, you know, if he was maybe grows into like a better senator or president, and you know, get with more knowledge and more time at that job and so forth, I think he would curve that way a little bit, you know. But with boxing being what he does best, it's what it's all about. I mean, let's face it, he wouldn't be where he is today without boxing. I mean, and that's why he's so addicted to it, and it's a very addictive sport. I mean, the thing is, once you fall in love with this sport, it's hard to go away. It's really. Is
that a worry then for you, caring so much for Manny, that you'll tell him no and he'll be like, no, I want to keep going?
Yeah, but I think I'm strong enough to tell him. Honestly, I've told 7 fighters in my life to retire. 5 told me to go fuck myself. 2 of them retired. I mean, so Jerry Pentelosa is doing really well. You know, he's retired, and he did exactly what I asked, and so he's good. But the thing is, it's very difficult, like, to get people to retire. James Toney told me to go fuck myself. Bernard Hopkins, same thing. You know, Bernard Hopkins in that fight with
Joe Smith?
No, after.
Well, Joe Smith was the last one.
No, he fought. No, with me.
With you.
And the kid from Wales.
Oh, Calzaghe.
Calzaghe. He went to the neutral corner to sit down 3 times in that fight. I had to go get him and bring him over to our corner, you know. And I says, something's wrong here. Like, you know, this shouldn't be like. Is he like doing this for fun or on purpose? So I told him after the fight, I says, you know, maybe you should retire. He says, why? I says, well, you went to the wrong corner 3 times in the fight. You went to the neutral corner. I had to go get you. And he says, you just lost your paycheck. And it came true. I lost my paycheck. But that's life, you know. That's but I think I
think Manny would listen to you if you tell him?
I thought I had a good enough reason to.
Yeah, that would be
it's kind of strange.
Yeah, that would be strange.
And unless he's playing mind games, which he is very capable of doing.
I don't think in that instance he would play mind games at all.
I agree. But the thing is, Manny, I do. Manny trusts me enough, like he just says to me, he said, Freddie, he said, I miss this. getting the picture day.
That might worry some people. That goes back to the point that he might be so addicted to it that he doesn't want to let all this go because he loves it.
Yeah, and the thing is, like he said, Freddie, I miss this. And what he meant is that he missed me being in the picture. And then so it makes me feel great, And then when he punches Boo Boy in the stomach, it makes me feel even better. No, I like Boo Boy getting hit once in a while because it's not easy to catch this guy. He's not easy to catch. There's pain. Yeah, there is pain. I mean, he hits hard.
Yeah, he's also talking about the Spence Garcia winner, which I got to give him props. He's not in this just to fight weird fights or easy fights. He wants to fight the top guys, but Spence is a huge guy in his prime. That's a scary matchup for anybody.
Mike Garcia, I take my hat off to Mike Garcia for asking for this fight. I do. I think you're one of the bravest people in the world. And I hope you do really well. I mean, I like Errol Spence. He's my friend, and I did train. I seen him knock at Adrien Broner at the Olympic Training Center, and Broner wasn't knocked out on his feet, but just on his feet and didn't know where he was. So I mean, Errol Spence can punch and is a very good fighter. So Adrien Broner, I mean, I've seen him knocked out in the gym before with big gloves and headgear. How great can he really be? In his fourth pro fight, when I was there a couple of years earlier, he looked great. But he's fighting a 4-round fight. He's just his fourth pro fight. He's just a young kid growing up back there, and then all these complications come. I mean, from the babies, the wives, the Mayweathers, the Mercedes, the cars, the houses. I just can't believe how people get caught up in this bullshit. It's just like
the money. It's the money. Money makes you do a lot of funny things, Freddie.
This is true, but the thing is, I just want to save money.
Yeah, me too. I want to save all the money.
So I'll never say, oh, I can't go there because I don't have enough money. Well,
I'd like to have the money that you have, Freddie. So feel free to lend me some, whatever you want.
It's so funny, the thing is, the things that unexpected things in life. We have a guy who had a heart attack, and died.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. Yeah, you never know.